Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Idaho Business Podcast. As always, we're sponsored by Sensations. These guys are fantastic. I went to Mexico a few months ago, looked as transparent as could be, probably whiter than the snow behind me, and went to Sensations. They did a spray tan on me, made me look halfway decent, still got to do a little more push-ups and sit-ups. Other than that, they made me look good. So I appreciate that. Go to them for any of your tanning needs, tanning bed, spray tans, your mani-pedis, your massages. They've got all of it. They also have some excellent, cool technology as well. So if you go to the idahobusinesspodcast.com/sensations, you'll see the offer there for you as listeners. You will get a free visit to the cocoon wellness bed or the red light therapy option. So you can either choose from one or the other, and they will help you mentally, they'll help you physically, they'll help you just get yourself back on track if you're feeling down a little bit. That's all this stuff is good for you. So that's your offer. It's your free offer just for listening for the Idaho Business Podcast. You can always also just go to our website, the Idaho Business Podcast, right there, and click on their logo or their name, and they'll bring you right to that page. All right, everyone, we are talking today, and I know you've had me just solo for a while, and we're going to have some guests coming up here, so I promise you that. But today, we're talking about excuses. Excuses are for suckers. Excuses are for losers. Nobody wants them. Nobody likes them. So the question is today, what do you do when your team or company makes a mistake? Is it immediately going to excuse, finding things to make it not your fault? Or is there a system in place, or do you actually take ownership for it? So I'll start off with a quote from Benjamin Franklin. He says, you could say he or she that is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else. So put that in your mind. Excuses, people do not care. They do not care. They don't care that something didn't get done because your kid was sick or your cat had to go to the vet. They don't care. All they know is their service, their treatment, their product was not up to par. So what do you do? What is your plan of attack afterwards? Because like we said, excuses mean nothing. So there's big mistakes that your company can make, and there's small mistakes. Small mistakes are also just known as imperfections, because every company is not perfect, of course. If you have a perfect company, I'm sure many people wouldn't be able to afford that company. So as much as we all want to be perfect, we all are not perfect. So we all kind of make these small mistakes here and there. We all, once in a while, leave our clientele, either if it's B2B or B2C, leave them less than stellar results. So what do you do when that happens? Well, some of the things you could do, number one, make sure they're heard completely. Don't cut them off. Don't cut them off to try to make excuses. Make sure they are heard. With our company, we actually have a kind of complaint protocol system that's set up, because at times we do get complaints. We're not perfect. And number one, you make sure that the client is heard. Make sure that everything is listened to, and make sure that everything that they need to say is said. And then number two, help them understand that they've been heard. Sympathize with them, because of course you didn't want that to happen to them. So help them understand that this isn't right, but we're going to make it right. Help them understand the plan of attack going forward. Say, hey, I apologize for this. What's going on? Obviously, it's not right. This is the steps we're going to take going forward. And those steps that you need to take going forward should be something universal, especially for the small imperfections with your company makes. Make them something universal. Like, so if you're a spa or salon, or something like that happens, when uh, a small mistake happens, I don't know what happens in salons or spas, but someone's unsatisfied. Okay, well, there should be some system in place that all your employees know, all your management team knows, to handle escalations in a good positive way. Because if you don't have that system set up, then what happens? We get people they go to DEFCON 10 and you see people screaming, ranting, and raving, not raving about your services, but you see that blow up sometimes in retail settings or in any kind of store setting, and it's not good. It's not good for your employees. It's not good for your customers walking in, and it's just definitely not good for morale all around. And after that customer leaves, depending on how it was handled, the customers that are witnessing it could have a really bad taste in their mouth or a really good taste in their mouth. That all depends on how your universal system is set up. So number one, you said, if there's something that's gone wrong, okay, help them make sure they're heard, sympathize with them, apologize for it. Do not make excuses. And then what's your what do you call? I guess when you for customer service, if you ever go call a big company for customer service, there's kind of a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 options, right? If it goes to DEFCON 10 with a customer, they're gonna go right to tier 3. So what's your tier 1 solution for this customer? Maybe it's a hey, you know what? We're sorry. Here's a coupon for the same service next time, or a discounted service. That's maybe a tier 1 solution. Maybe a tier 2 solution is, hey, I apologize, but here's a coupon for that, and maybe a coupon for a friend. I'm on the coupon trend right now, but whatever you can think of that's creative and can make that person not just right for what happened to them, but whole, is the way you want to do it. And that's we could go off on tangents of guarantees within your business, and that's something you probably should have within your business. Have a guarantee. Guarantees are worth something, especially if you stand by them. I've said this many times within the company I own, New Clean. We have a guarantee that if there's an imperfection and unsatisfactory service that happens, and we don't fix it within 24 hours, the cleaning is on us. And that's something we stand by and we live by, because we hold our feet to the fire, because we want to put our best foot forward, and we want to make sure our clients are made whole. And especially if it's a tier 2 situation or something like that, we make them whole by even going above and beyond just discounting a service for them. So have a tier 2 solution, and even a tier 3 of like, okay, DEFCON 10, tier 3 solution. Make it realistic, of course. I don't want you to give away the farm, but at the same time, for what happened, the severity of it, make it right for what happened, like make it equal to what happened. And my last kind of point on this tier system is some people just aren't core value fits for your company. And that's a reality that we all have to understand. And even though that happens, we still got to be polite. We still can't make excuses. But at the same time, we can always let them know, like, hey, I'm sorry because there's some people that just will never be satisfied. Something's not always going to be up to par. These are the people that most likely don't own businesses, have never been in your situation, have never had to meet payroll, have never had to make sure that enough revenue is coming into the business to survive. They just don't understand that. And it's not their fault, but at the same time, they're just not educated on those ways. So as a typical consumer, and not all consumers like this, I would say 1 out of 10 are like this. You can literally fire a client. It's okay. You can fire them in a fun, and not a fun way, but in a nice, respectful way. Like you can help them understand, like, hey, I'm sorry for what happened. Like, obviously there's not a way that we can make you happy, Like, I'd be more than happy to give you your money back for this service, whatever you need to do, whatever you decide. But I think going forward, I think that the spa down the road might be a better fit for you. And you can do that in a really nice or in a very cool manner. And that helps people understand, like, hey, like, you're just not a fit for us. So why try to keep forcing this relationship? I'm not allergic to money. And I know as business owners, we're not allergic to money. We want money coming in, but not all money is good money, especially if you're constantly having the same problem with the same customers and you're getting the same quality of service from your clientele or your products or services, um, or employees, and all the other customers are happy with it. There's a disconnect there. So understand that and know that there is that out. You know, uh, there's my dad. He loves the show, an old Patrick Swayze show called Roadhouse, and there's a quote in there that says, and it's funny to me, but it's not something I want to teach you guys to understand. It's not in reality, but he says, "Be nice until it's time not to be nice." Take that for what it is, but at the same time, be nice, of course, be nice for your customers, but until it's time to kind of fire them. Like, you still need to be nice and respectful, but there is a time to end that relationship. So remember, excuses do not work. Especially, I had a partner before I got this company bigger and bigger. And I was one of those persons at times, when things didn't happen. Maybe I didn't feel like doing something one night and I made excuses, and no one wanted to hear it, but I thought, I could get away with it. And what did I get? Well, sounds like a personal problem to me. At the time, I was like, what in the hell? And I was mad that he said that to me. I was just seething, I was so mad. But now as I get older and I've had, more employees underneath me and, teams that we're managing, you've seen it all. And you see it all and you understand, like, no one cares. They just care about the product or the supply or the service that you're offering. They just want it done. They don't need excuses. So take that for what it is. I'm going to go to another quote right now. George Washington Carver says 99% of failures come from people who have the habit of making excuses. Yikes. So that's a big one, people. That's the thing. It's if there's another one I really want to say right here. It's from John Burroughs. It says a man can fail many times, or a man or woman can fail many times, but he isn't a failure until he begins to blame somebody else. So just remember, you're a business owner, you're a business leader. Take it upon yourself. Take ownership. How many times do we tell our kids that they need to take ownership for what they did? I'm saying that constantly to my kids. So, obviously we're all hypocrites in one way or the other, but do we want to continue to be a hypocrite especially in front of our kids? If we're telling them to take ownership and we're not, gosh dang. So just remember, this will make your business better. This will make it better reviews, make everything better. And that bring me to my last point. But before I get there, I need to take a final break here. The Idaho Business Podcast is sponsored by my company, New Clean Commercial Cleaning. Tell you what, we do janitorial services in South and Eastern Idaho. Currently, we're located from Burley all the way to Rexburg, and soon we'll be in Twin Falls. But we take care of all your janitorial needs. We can do your carpet cleaning, we do your windows, we do all that kind of stuff. And it's all backed by the "we're not perfect" guarantee. And obviously, we're not going to be a fit for every client. And we'll let you know that. And that's something that we're different from other companies. That we just don't want every client. We want to make sure we're going to be a fit for you and you're going to be a fit for us. So if you need some services, go on their website. I know, there's an offer for if you sign up for a free janitorial solution huddle. There's a free offer for you there. So go check that out at the idahobusinesspodcast.com and go from there. Okay, so let's get us back to, I know we've talked about this before, is reviews. So at times you're going to see people on your Facebook page or your Google page give you a negative review. Warranted or not, it's going to be there. On Facebook, if you have, something like that, you kind of control that platform. I think you can ban and delete and ban some comments on messages or and that kind of thing. But on Google, they're going to be there. So my advice to you, and the advice I've gotten from many other professionals, is respond to every single review, negative or positive. Respond. And do you respond with excuses? No. You respond with tier 1 solutions, tier 2 solutions, and tier 3 solutions. Maybe if it's a bad review, maybe you go all the way to a, whatever solution, but just, and maybe if it's one of those, there are those crazy people, or crazy employees that leave you, that want to just burn the place to the ground. Maybe just, respond to them in kind, and not match their aggressive nature, but help them understand, like, hey, I'm sorry that this happened to you. Like, and offer some way to make it right. So people that are reading those reviews can kind of see what you're all about. And if they can kind of see, they can decipher the crazies from the normal people. So just respond to every review that comes into your platforms, and do not make excuses. Again, excuses are for suckers. So I hope that's some insight for you guys and gals. No one wants excuses. And always, as we close this thing out, stay away from the negative Nancy's. Be positive. Attack your week and just go out there and kill it. As always, just go out and share maybe one of your favorite episodes. And if you want to be on the Idaho Business Podcast, go to our website. Sign up. You can sign up and it'll send you a Zoom code. So it'll automatically book you a day or time that fits for you. Or if you would like, I can come to your place of business and we can talk right there. So until next episode, you guys have a fantastic day. Go out there with positivity. Do not make excuses, and just be out there and grow your business. See you later.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.